everybody, airsofters, YouTubers alike. Welcome to the first pilot episode of Behind the BB, a YouTube series dedicated to airsofters getting to know one another, what we do, and just answering any basic questions that anybody may have. Joining us today as co-hosts for the pilot is Tex and
Bear. We're just giving out as much information as we possibly can to help out the common airsofter.
For today, we're just going to be doing a quick introduction to milsims. What are they? Well, how would you explain a milsim?
There are multiple different types, different styles and levels. So more of your softer, more lightweight would be more operation. So those are not as big. So not as many people. Maybe 50 some people, would you say?
Average. I know for a fact when we first started, we went to an event where there was probably about 35 to somewhere between 35 to I believe 55 people was what one of the companies, by the way, that is sponsoring this Behind the BB podcast is M2 Bravo. They are a shop within was it Buchanan?
Yeah, it's Buchanan, West Virginia.
And they actually have a mobile store. Check them out on Facebook. That's really where they have all their information. Direct links to the website, direct links to the store, which their Facebook is actually pretty nice. I went and checked it out earlier when we first begun our intro to milsim, because growing up we did backyard style.
Yeah.
I remember back when we were just starting out, we had probably about 15 to 20 people. It was a really small backyard, but we've actually grown and grown in experience and in people. So for any type of milsim, really, what guns would you actually prefer going into them?
It depends on your play style. So if you like the more sneaking around, ghillie suit style, then a sniper rifle or DMR would be your style. But you have to understand that just about every airsoft gun works the same and has just about the same amount of range. So choose wisely. But then once you start getting into your general rifleman, that'd be M4, AK, depending on what role and what style you want. And then you have specialist class, which would be, if you really want to go for it, go for a saw gunner. And I can tell you from experience, it sucks sometimes because it is very heavy.
Coming from my experience, I use a custom-made J&G model. When I say custom-made J&G, it came from the body of a J&G, but I did a lot of tweaking. Frankenstein gun. All the pieces from the gun, honestly got it for about $55. That's not the average price for a good airsoft gun. I ended up getting off lucky. We'll go further into customization of guns and stuff like that in later episodes. But for right now, we're just covering actual milsim topics. Another big one is hydration.
Yeah.
I mean, we've both done it. You know, sometimes you're rolling out there for sometimes could be 10. And if you go higher up to the milsim West stuff where you're running for sometimes 24 to really 42 hours. And all the excitement, you just forget to drink.
So right? We are, you really do. And we're not skinny players. I'm 250 myself, so I waste a lot of energy on the field. I drink, Battle of the Clinch that was here not too long ago. I drank about 3 liters to 4 liters in 2 days. Which is about average. It should be about average.
And the funny thing about that is you can go check out the Battle of the Clinch. We just recently had it uploaded. We're hitting about 117 views at the moment. Drop in comments. Give us subscriptions. Anything ideas or questions. Anything regarding milsims or anything like that. We'll go even further into other episodes and just continue to answer your questions, because this is something that we think needs to be brought out. Because we're both into airsoft, I would say, just about evenly. And going into that, I'd actually like to discuss something in the realm of milsim versus backyard airsoft. So what would you say the main differences are going from milsim or backyard, or even vice versa?
Well, whenever you start talking about backyard, it's usually just with a big group of friends, and I'll tell you, one of my first backyard games was with a bunch of what we call springers. It's just spring-loaded guns that you have to literally cock it. It's usually pistols and stuff like that, so you literally have to cock it every single time you need to shoot. But we have slightly evolved.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I mean, I remember my first airsoft gun was a little one of those M4 looking guns, but it did not have a sight. The ammunition ran through the scope. Went to that for my first game back in, I would like to say 2012, 2013, somewhere along the lines of that, maybe even long ago, longer than that even.
So we've all had that gun.
Yeah, we've all had that gun. That is, honestly, that's gun still active today. We still have it passed along our community members that we play with monthly. And for upcoming events, we would happily like to say that Appalachian Assault, which is hosted by Theta Events, is actually coming around. What did you think the day of that was? It's sometime in July.
It was July 13th, I believe. It's going to be a 3-day event. We are going to be there. It's going to be us and a few more teammates. It is going to be a rather large mill sim, so if you are going to that, or if you're interested in going that, please check them out on Facebook, and they post all their info leading up.
Yeah, they're very active. All of their tickets and per se is generally it's a cost of $50 per event, but with that you get actual people from the military coming in and teaching you hands-on what you would actually do in a military circumstance, or if you were actually in this situation, what they would do. I know Battle of the Clinch, we actually had somebody who was in the Army as RCO. His name was Mark. He was a really cool guy. He runs with Theta a lot. He's one of the more known commanders, and more recently we did well, I wasn't there. I was actually under the weather. But how would you describe Valley of Tears?
Valley of Tears was awesome. It was more of your lightweight airsoft mil sim event. There was about 50 to 60 some people there, but it was, even though it was still that lighter version, which is more keen to people that are just getting into it, or are even seasoned players get into it. But I absolutely loved it. It was a lot of fun, and Black Aces are the ones that hosted that game, and they did an amazing job with it. They really did.
And going into Black Aces, they're also in Summersville?
Yep, they're in Summersville, West Virginia.
So branching out further from Mill Sims, it's an amazing experience. I highly recommend you and your team do it. But before you even do Mill Sims, you're going to need to have a team.
Yeah.
So we also wanted to go in and inform you guys about the easiest team basics, where to begin really. For our team, we started with about 12 members. That showed up to almost every single backyard game we threw out. That was a lot of the core work we had to put in. We actually sprung up to about 25 to 30 straight backyard.
At one point, we had almost 30 some people.
That was insane. And then we just started hungering for it. We watched all these high maintenance mill sims that you can see anywhere really on YouTube, and we just wanted to know if there was really any near us. I know we looked for about a year, and we started going to them. And if you're looking for stuff like that, again, highly recommend you look at Theta Events. If you're somewhere near the West Virginia, Tennessee, Virginia area, they're a tri-state organization. They're great. But as far as team building, I would say probably one of the key things is fundraising, because growing up or even joining a team of really various ages, really, funding is going to be big in really any age. For those that have a job and those that don't even have a job. Yeah. I mean, I know our team is pretty split in half when it comes to funding. Some of us have money and some of us don't. And what we've been looking at is various fundraisers that you can really find on Google. Double Good, they're a fundraiser that does popcorn. That's a really good one. Also, car washes. Really look at what your community needs and that you can easily access. And that's the quickest way to earn money for sports like this, where it's not a school-oriented sport. No. It's just a backyard hobby, and it's harder to find fundraisers and stuff like that. But but the minute you start looking into it, you see more of what you need. Going into roles, really, how would you attack roles?
Whenever you start talking about roles, for one, you need to look at what you want. That should be really your main focus. Do you want to be the sniper rifle taking one shot, and you have that one shot to hit, going up against AEGs and stuff like that are fully automatic, and if they get in range, they will mow you down if you're not careful. Or you can go with the AEG, the M4, the AK, stuff like that. There are a lot more variants, but we're not going to get into it this episode. Then you have more of your support, and again, that's my role. I'm a support gunner. I use an M249 saw that I have custom upgraded, so all my internals are upgraded, and me and you are both two of the head techs on our team.
Yeah, which is something I find important because growing up, especially how our RAM was, well, when that airsoft gun was broken, that means I had to go get money and get a new one.
But $200, man.
Exactly, but we decided that it was time to get over that, and we started cracking in really into our airsoft guns and just getting to know what was inside of them, and we'll definitely cover those in a later episode. But going on to patches. We had just finished, really, and we would like to give a shout out to the studio. You can look them up on Facebook, who recently made our patches. They are extraordinary. So go on and tell us how easy it was to learn from patches.
We had previously drawn our design, and the studio has a lot of artists with them and a lot of people to help you out, and they have an amazing tech support as well. But all I submitted the picture. I told them exactly how many I wanted and how I wanted it, what colors, whole deal. Then their artist drew it out for us, sent us an email showing us the picture, and then so we ordered 50. We don't have 50 people, but you always need extra patches. So about $100 before 50 some patches. And I thought it was well worth it, and they kept in contact the entire time they were in production, sending us emails, telling us how it was going, where it was in the process, and they were amazing. I really recommend the studio if you want to get patches, t-shirts, or anything.
And diving in deeper, after we were finally happy because we got the patches. Our team name is Viper 6. We have that on YouTube. Look it up, Viper 6, the exact same as what you'd look up on Facebook. But going in deeper, when we started looking at our team, really, we went over roles, fundraising. Big thing is rules. Everybody knows who plays airsoft or even has watched videos of airsoft knows that it is an honor sport. Mm-hmm. And that is something hard to tackle. So we're going to go on and tell you what we did as Viper 6, the team, how we got through and did it. What we did was we put somebody in charge of it, a disciplinary. He's actually going into, I think he said the Air Force. I think he changed his mind.
He did.
But he wrote down a set of rules. The most important one is call your hit. We both have big feelings about that.
Oh, yeah.
And I know the second one for a fact is if you don't call your hit, well, we're going to switch.
We're gonna make you.
Yeah, we're going to switch from single fire to automatic. That's really the two base rules for backyard we have, but when we go to mill sims, it's dug in even deeper. Like we both talked, and it's more set up to our looks. How do we look as an organization? When we go out, we make sure our language is held to a minimum. If any of our players have language issues, or we always go out and we're always polite, and we just about building an image for a team, and that's the most important thing.
Keeping a reputation, get a reputation and keep it, hold it. Don't lose that reputation, because people, companies, and other businesses and other people that usually host games look at that, and if they like it, they'll reach out to you. And going on to that, we're going into actually how to get your team name out there. And really, he is in charge of basically reaching out to people online and getting and really helping us get our name out. And go ahead and tell them how that's been.
All right, well, that's actually been a pretty interesting experience because I've always been and a fan of social media, and really I'm big on open communications. I'll talk to really anybody who wants to talk. So we met up with the leader of Black Aces, Robert Friend. You can look him up through Black Aces Airsoft. He's a really awesome guy on Facebook. That's really how a lot of the airsoft community operates. If you pay attention to it, is we're still looking to find our way out of the YouTube and general Facebook idea. It's just something you always run into. So once again, really anybody that we've mentioned, M2 Bravo, Theta, Black Aces, just look at them up through Facebook, and you'll have a very positive experience with it. We assure you that. But we went to every single event we could think of, starting for the ones we did here in this state, which is where we're from, was only like one or two, which is Cold War and
hosted by M2 Bravo
and the Valley of Tears,
and hosted by Black Aces.
Those are the two we've done in our state, which is West Virginia. And the rest of them we've really traveled out.
Yeah, we went to what was it? It was Copperhead Road, hosted by North 40. They put on an awesome operation, mill sim.
Yeah, that was something that we're very fond of. And going back to the rules and stuff like that, and the roles, the most important thing for getting your name out there is showing it on the field.
Yeah.
When we mean showing it on the field, we brought our name up through the field, literally. I know the first game we ever did at M2 Bravo's field, they were very honest with us, and we were very honest with them, and they noticed how honest we call our hits, which is a big thing we enforce back at home and on the road.
Yeah.
And we're very open when it comes to stuff like this. You need help, anything airsoft related, we will gladly help you. And that's just how we really got our name out there. It's just because we're really open to the idea that airsoft as a sport needs to stay together in constant contact, and that's why this is a main factor of why we're doing this.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to end here with leadership. That is very important inside the airsoft
Yes,
world, wouldn't you say?
Me and him are the two, I guess you call COs, or just head leaders. We are leaders on the field, leaders with the just about everything, but we do have other people on the team that are in charge of other things, because we can't do everything by ourselves. And
And that's something we've taken very seriously. Like, we have a disciplinary guy, we have a fundraising guy, we have people that schedule the backyard games. I myself am involved more in the Facebook, and the out-of-state games are more an hour away games or something further than our backyard.
I'm usually doing the inventory. I usually I help fix the guns. I get the ammo, stuff like that. Make sure people have the camo, the right gear, and all that.
And if you do stuff like this, I promise it'll be a more positive airsoft experience for you guys. You'll grow your team, and let's just go on and focus on getting airsoft back into the States. I know for a while there in 2008, 2012-ish, when J&G was very popular, that's when airsoft was at its growth here. Now it's kind of transitioned to overseas, like Ireland and Russia and Germany.
Man,
Germany's really big in it.
Russia did one. Can't quite remember how long ago it was, but they had like almost 1,000 people on one game. They had tanks and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, that's what our main focus is when we made our group. Both of us as leaders, going back to leadership, we said that we want to make sure that we can get airsoft spread throughout West Virginia. And doing this, it has actually helped the airsoft community in West Virginia, because now we have contacts spread throughout the state.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we can, for example, one of our big ad reads and sponsors, M2 Bravo, Black Aces, those guys are from West Virginia. Those are West Virginia natives. A lot of them are the same exact way we are when they feel about airsoft. They want it to be big again, and that's their goal as well, and that's why we click so well with them.
Yeah, and the only reason we were able to have them, I guess, as friends, is we weren't really afraid to go up and talk to them, and that's something you all need to do. Like, don't be afraid to talk to these guys. They're just like you. They're airsoft players just like you.
Yeah, we highly recommend doing it because we promise you when you go to a meal sim, it's not going to be a very quiet thing. There's going to be people
No.
running around, high-fiving everybody, just having a good old time. I know at Battle of the Clinch, we had a bonfire the second night of the operation. And it's just a thing that you get close with people and you make lifelong friends sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But this has been episode 1 pilot. Drop a comment, drop a subscription, drop a like on Facebook when we release this, and just let us know how you feel. You know, is this something that you would like to see more of, or even less of? What do you think we should do with it? Do you think we should add more or drop less? Just go on and tell us.
Make sure another thing. Make sure you all subscribe. Like if you like the video, comment if you want to add something, like he said. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the little bell icon. It will notify you whenever we upload something, so you can always stay in the know.
And this is Texan Bear signing off for the first episode of Behind the BB. Thank you.